right, so new invoicing. All right, this is the one that I have to be honest, whenever I first saw it, I was like, not a fan. But then I had to dig around and I had to look at it and I had to pick apart what were the parts that I really liked. And there's a couple of really cool goodies in here. So again, I'm going to go ahead and take you over into a live subscription so that way you can see what I am seeing. Give me just a second to pull that company up. And that way you are able to see some details with me. All right, so here we are inside of a test environment, and here's the stuff that I like. I like it that I can actually edit my company from the face of the invoice, and I like it that I can actually edit a customer from the face of the invoice. So for example, say that I had a typo. Maybe I don't, this is once upon a time, I had used this test client inside of Scaling New Heights. Well, now I want to change the name. So I could actually come over, change that name, and that's not going to just update the invoice customer name on this invoice, but it'll actually impact the customer card inside of your customer center. So I really do like that. Over here, I can customize what's visible to me. So if I wanted to manage what's being seen on the screen here, I can come over and I can customize. Why I like this is before I felt like whenever I was editing a template that I would need to play around with the template and then go look and see what it looks like. Here, I've got everything in the same place and I do like that. So in this case, I'm not going to ship anything. I do want my invoice number and date and due date, terms, you may or may want that. Service date. If you're somebody like me, I never fill out the service date. So no, I don't want that visible on my screen. So I can take that off. If I wanted to go into custom fields, that is going to take me out of editing this particular invoice. So I'm going to leave that alone, but you can manage your custom fields too. I'm going to close it. I'm going to come over here to payments. One of the things that you're going to see that's new is PayPal and Venmo. We know that this has been coming for a while. Here it is. So now you can actually enable PayPal and Venmo, and you could turn this on or off for your clients. So we have our traditional types of payment methods, but now we've also got a PayPal and Venmo option. Tips, if you were somebody, this is kind of cool. If you're somebody who, I have several clients that are in the handyman industry. They get tips all the time. They have to go in and manage an invoice in order to add a tip. But if you were to put that on the face of the invoice, you would be able to have some type of control as to what that looks like. And then do you want that to be an income or a liability account? So yes, I do really like that. More options down here. So invoice total, I can't see why you wouldn't want this on here. So I'm always going to leave it on there. Deposits, I'm going to show you that one here in a second. The discounts, I think the discounts is pretty groovy. So I can actually put in here that I want it to be a dollar amount. So I want to give them a $5 discount, and that actually populates. I can go in and I could manage my discount. I can manage my chart of accounts discount by going over to the chart of accounts. But if I wanted to say, let's take a deposit, this adds, you can see right here, a new line to my invoice. And what that deposit allows you to do is to say, how much is that deposit amount? What's the method? But here's the most important part. Where do you want it to be allocated? So do you want it to go into a prepayment? Do you want it to be considered income at the time? But you get some controls over where that deposit is going to be recorded. Design, very simple. I'm not going to really go into too much of this other than, you can change your colors to match your logos, whatever. Your hyperlinks. Automation, this is another one that I think is cool. So if your clients aren't paying on time, if you know that this is going to be a client who's just behind, go ahead and say, let's make sure to send them a reminder days before the invoice is actually due. And, you could put on the due date, go ahead and send them another reminder after the due date. All of these will apply until they make a payment. So those are really nice to be able to just set it up. And then, even I get behind on reading emails. And so those reminders are good for even me too. I never get annoyed with them. I honestly just find it as being something that's helpful. Here is going to be some reports that you can actually see all of the invoices, all of the transactions, or sorry, all open invoices, and then all transactions. So that's what I like about this functionality. I think that, if you want to switch back to the old layout, there is the option. That option is going to be available for a while. I don't think it's going to be here forever. I don't want to say any of that. Anyway, so I can actually switch back to that old view if I wanted to. And so here it is. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my QuickBooks for a second. I'm going to go back over to slides, and I'm going to just show you that you've got everything here that I just walked through. So you've got all of that and able to see it.